The NFL Combine just wrapped up this past weekend. Everyone else is doing their post-Combine mock draft, so I'm going to go ahead, hop on that gravy train, and do a 2-round mock draft. Admittedly, I got the first round already planned out. Second round, I'm just going to do on the fly, so ought to be a ton of fun. But what's cracking lacking is your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Let's go ahead, get into this sucker. First, we're just going to go ahead, do the trade at 1 start. Cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do the trade at 1. People have experimented with, like, I've seen a lot of Texans move up, which is one I can see happening. Colts move up, I can see happening. Out of the rumor mill, it's that the Carolina Panthers are very adamant about moving up for a quarterback in this class, and they're willing to give a lot of draft picks. I'm talking 3 first-rounders to move up. We'll see how much of that is actually true, but we're going to go ahead and do the Carolina Panthers moving up to 1 rather than just having like the Bears move back twice or something. But we're going to just go ahead and have Carolina move up to 1. They're going to give away this, and they don't include 2025 first rounder, so we're just going to throw a second round in there. And this is the only trade I'm going to be doing in this mock draft, though I will talk about trade down options and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to take Bryce Young. I think there's going to be a good shot that maybe they move up to 2 or 3 with for the Panthers. They might move up to one of those positions. And by 2, I mean maybe if the Bears move back. There's ain't no way I think Houston's moving back. But if the Bears move back to 2, then the Bears and the Cardinals are going to be the guys to talk to about moving up for a quarterback. But my top quarterback in the draft didn't change after the combine. I really doubted that it would, but I'm going with Bryce Young here. Let me just go ahead and move this sucker a little bit for y'all. There we go. All right, Houston Texans. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a quarterback. Stroud, he looked really good in the throwing drills, but we already knew that. We already know he got a good arm, so we're going to go ahead and snag him here because the other 2 quarterbacks have a bit more question marks. Arizona Cardinals, with everything going on with Jalen Carter, will likely a lot of that stuff will be wrapped up by the time of the draft, or at least we'll get a good idea of where he might go, what range, depending on, again, how much of that stuff gets cleared up. But we're going to go with Will Anderson. He kind of becomes the more safe option there as the first non-quarterback prospect off the board. Now, the Indianapolis Colts, and people, I know the comment section might not love this, but it is what it is. And I think if I'm the Colts, like, I might just send it. You know, just go ahead. You got a guy that worked and helped Jalen Hurts succeed this past season as your head coach. Take the guy with the huge tools and kind of have a mini rebuild. I'm kind of on board with that. And you don't really have to trade down to do that, or at least in this mock draft. So I'm going to actually take Anthony Richardson for the Colts. So I can't wait to see the comment section on that. He tested out phenomenally. We all already knew he was going to, but it's nice to confirm the physical tools are as good as we all anticipated. Now, we got the Seattle Seahawks, and for me, this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a no-brainer for me. Listen, Jalen Carter would have been my top non-quarterback prospect on the board, obviously prior to all the stuff that went down. I assume that stuff's going to sort itself out by the time the draft comes, and I think the Seahawks are a great culture for a guy like Jalen Carter, so we're going to go ahead and snag him here. A lot of people think, oh, he must be a bad guy. I think he was a young kid that made a dumb decision. He'll wisen up. I truly believe that. The Detroit Lions, listen, if this was Richardson, honestly, I would have thought about taking Anthony Richardson at pick 5 and here at pick 6. But he's not on the board. Will Levis doesn't excite me as much. If you're Detroit, you're not that thirsty for a quarterback that I think you would take Levis. But I think you get your pick of the gander when it comes to this cornerback class. Christian Gonzalez, as good as advertised when it comes to him athletically, how he measured, he is the top corner to me in this draft. The Raiders, this is kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm taking Will Levis. They preferably, I think, would want a young quarterback. I don't think they're going to be in the Aaron Rodgers market. Then again, watch it happen. I don't know. I don't think they are. I honestly think now with Derek Carr off the market, the Jets will probably firmly be in the market for Aaron Rodgers and will be sadly let down if they have to settle for like a Jimmy Garoppolo or just Zach Wilson next season. All right, so Raiders, they get their quarterback of the future. The Atlanta Falcons, I think addressing the pass rush is kind of like the first and foremost area to address for the Falcons. Tyree Wilson's kind of the guy here. Miles Murphy came in at 258, I believe, so much lighter than his playing weight because he kind of tweaked his hammy the night before preparing for the combine. He didn't participate in the workout, so we're kind of waiting on those. So, but Tyree Wilson, he's waiting for his pro day. He only did the bench, but Tyree Wilson, he may be a bit unpolished as a pass rusher, but brings it as a very good run defender with a good pass rushing upside that just needs a little bit of development. Now we're back here with the Chicago Bears, and boy, oh boy, I'm really tempted to take a receiver here, but I'm not going to. Listen, what if the Bears are looking at that right tackle position like, man, we don't like Larry Borum, apparently. So Riley Reif's a free agent. Hopefully, maybe Caleb McGarry is out there in free agency. Maybe he doesn't return to the Falcons, so that's a possibility. If not, I think going with the top tackle on the board isn't a bad idea. Paris Johnson, he's got 36 freaking inch arms. It's ridiculous, man. A guy that I think could play both sides of the offensive line. All right, we're here with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think corner just makes the most sense here for the Eagles. Darius Slay up there in dog years. James Bradbury is a free agent, might be looking for a nice penny or two and might be out of the budget for the Eagles. So now you're staring at the corner class here at Devon Witherspoon, who did not work out at the combine, which that's fine, but Joey Porter, who measured out bigger, insane wingspan, insane length, tested well. I'm gonna go with him right now for the Eagles, as much as I really do love Witherspoon's tape. I'm gonna take the bigger guy, the longer guy. That's kind of what the Eagles had last year with Slay and Bradbury. All right, no Paris Johnson for the first time in a while for the Titans in this mock draft, but we're not staying away from the position. Instead of Skoronski was a thought, but I'm gonna go with Broderick Jones. I really think he actually is a good fit early on there for the Titans and for what they kind of run there. It's a very much run first team, so we're gonna go ahead and snag him here for the Titans. All right. So we grabbed CJ Stroud. This next pick could be wide receiver. I think that would be fun. It'd be nice to pair your quarterback up with maybe Jackson Smith-Njigba here. Oh, but I really think D'Amico Ryan is going to go out and try to build the defense from the inside out. So he's going to look at the defensive line. Lucas Van Ness had a very good combine. I know a lot of people aren't going to like the bench press. They're like, oh, he's at 272. He should have put up more reps. Kind of is what it is. We know he's a speed to power guy, and we saw that ran what, a 4.58 in the 40. Kind of ridiculous. I could actually check this right now. A 4.58. There we go. So he's gonna sneak up. He's snuck up my board as I kind of wait and hold on Miles Murphy, who I don't think Clemson's pro day is until March 30th. Clemson pro day. Okay. Someone want to answer this for me? Hold on. NFL draft pro days. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Pro days schedule. No, they're the 14th. Thank goodness. I really didn't want it to be that far away. But we're going to take Lucas Van Ness as we wait till the 13th, or as we wait a week to see how Miles Murphy tests out. I'm not changing much with the Jets here. I'm going to take an offensive line, Peter Skoronski, very versatile offensive lineman. I really think if Aaron Rodgers does get traded, it's not going to be for this 13th pick. If it's going to be for a day two, maybe 2 day 2 picks. So I assume maybe they might not have their second rounder if they do end up getting Aaron Rodgers. But regardless, we're not going to do that in this draft, but we're going to take Peter Skoronski here. I think they're going to hold on to number 13. Again, as it stands now, good chance I might be wrong. But right here for the Patriots, we're going to go with corner. Devon Witherspoon, I don't think could fall much further. His tape is so good this season. He had the best corner tape of anybody this year. He is slightly undersized compared to the other two guys in Porter and in Gonzalez. Has slightly less length, but this dude he's played a majority of press man there in Illinois, so he's gonna actually be a good scheme fit for the Patriots. All right. Listen, we're going to go with what I think should happen here. I assume Aaron Rodgers does get traded, which means Jordan Love, you're going to get a good look at Jordan Love, and you want to give him all the chances in the world, which means playmaker. Get him Jackson, Smith, and then Jigba here, and kind of complete that receiving core that has a Romeo Dobbs, I can't remember his first, Christian Watson. There we go. I want to say Charles. I know that's not right. So get him playmakers. I know backers don't freaking draft receivers in the first round. They haven't done it since Javon Walker. Well, you know what? Now that Aaron's gone, maybe they'll be like, okay, maybe we should have got Aaron more weapons. So we're gonna go with this here. I like the pick personally. I think it does complete that wide receiver core. And it'll allow you a fair evaluation of Jordan Love. If Aaron Rodgers is not your starting quarterback next year, of course. All right, so the Washington Commanders here. I still like the idea of going corner, though I think Osiris Torrance is definitely in play here. And I'm going to go with a guy that did a good job at the combine of proving people, hey, no, you don't think I'm athletic? I'm actually pretty athletic. And Cam Smith, I think he's a good fit here for the Commanders. You could also make a case for Deonte Banks at that pick. Oh, they're going to get a guy that's close to home. I kind of have Smith on my board. But I am going to take Deonte Banks to Pittsburgh here because holy freaking moly. And I'm so sold that they are going to be taking a corner here because they're going to be taking a tackle at pick 32, the first pick of the second round, and hoping that one of the guys there from Mobile might be available to them there with that second round pick. So we go ahead, we grab Banks. Good fit for the scheme. Banks tested phenomenally, fluid athlete. I think there's some times in his tape where he's not tuned in or he feels out of play, so it doesn't give 100% effort, but there is no denying his ability to play the receiver when the ball is in the air. There's no denying how fluid of an athlete, how sticky he is in coverage. All right, on to the Detroit Lions, and we're actually going to take one of my favorite players in this class. The Lions, they would love a penetrator there to put next to Aleem McNeil, so I'll give you a penetrator in the form of Adetomiwa Adebari out of Northwestern. I was huge on him going into the Senior Bowl. I loved him at the Senior Bowl. He was like, everyone talks about Kalijah Cansey. This guy's my Kalijah Cansey. And at the combine, proceeds to test far better than Kalijah Cansey at the same size, and he did it with much more length, like almost 3 inches more of arm length. Adebari, Adibari, I don't think he'll go this early, but I think he's gonna go in the first round, man. I'm a huge fan of him. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. This one was a little difficult. I ain't gonna lie. And this is where I was like, you know what, man? Bijan just can't fall anymore. They got rid of Leonard Fournette. They have Rashad White there. They have, for now, Kyle Trask at the helm. If they run with that, then they're probably going to want to run the ball and run the ball a bit more successfully, which means they're going to have to bring in someone to play that left guard spot, which hopefully we can address that maybe in round 2. Like I said, I haven't done round 2 yet. You're going to see me do it live, so hopefully that's the case. But we're going to take Bijan. We're going to go ahead and take a stab with the rookie quarterback, with the first-time NFL quarterback, Kyle Trask, or I guess first time starting quarterback, Kyle Trask. All right, we got the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm going to get that edge rusher. And Nolan Smith just tested out phenomenally. I know, above my guy, Myles Murphy. I think Myles Murphy, I felt like if him coming in at 258, man, has me curious. I do think he's more versatile than Nolan Smith, but Nolan Smith, that is just some rare speed, athleticism, and explosiveness to come off the edge. So we're going to go ahead and snag him there for the Seahawks. All right, now we got the Chargers, and we're going to take we're going to stick with wide receiver. Listen, so you had let's check out receiver. You had Jordan Addison, 4.49. You had Jalen Hyatt, 4.4, right? Zay Flowers, 4.42. Then you get to guy like a Downs who had 4.49, and it's like, I don't like Quentin Johnson. I think there's a he might slightly under Zay Flowers, but he's doing it at a more ridiculous size. He was so great in the drills. You saw the explosiveness in the vert and the broad. I'm gonna go ahead and snag him here, man. Get that potential long field threat that also can create after the catch. So quick turn upfield. All right, now Devin Duvernay is a free agent after this season. I'm gonna go with Zay Flowers here. That he immediately just kind of propels himself into that role, and you're kind of hoping you're getting a much better guy than Devin Duvernay, a guy that can stretch the field, a guy that can create after the catch. All right, the Minnesota Vikings. This one was kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm taking Brian Branch. I think there's a case that he could end up slipping a little bit because it's not like he tested out phenomenally, but that was to be expected. But this guy's so good around the ball. This team's going to love, if they thought they got good production out of Jadon freaking Sullivan, they're going to get great production out of Brian Branch. The Jacksonville Jaguars almost took Brian Brzee here, but instead I'm going to go with the interior player, Cyrus Torrance, kind of try to complete that offensive line, hopefully, or at least get better talent on it. The Giants, listen, I still think Jordan Addison's a first-round player. Because people, I know they're going to hop off after, man, at 173, he ran a 4.49. He talked about going through a back strain during the combine. I don't know if it was something he had the day before. Let's go ahead. Let's wait to see how he tested his pro day. But regardless, you look at the tape, man. This guy's just such a fluid route runner. This cat knows how to get separation. The Giants, they need weapons. So gonna go ahead and snag that. Straight up, Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why y'all's picks are so tough. I feel like there's no one I want at this pick with the Cowboys on the board. I really don't. But then I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead with best player on the board, and that's kind of Brian Brzee. I know you got Osa Digizua, but he's sub 300. You get a 300-pounder here with Brian Brzee. That has a lot of potential, a lot of talent. All right, the Buffalo Bills. Listen, I think this pick, I don't know if have I been doing that for every pick? Listen. I feel like Max Caster. Yo, listen. It's an AEW reference. But I'm going to stick with the offensive line. It would have been nice to get Osiris Torrance here. I don't think there's a good likelihood of that, but there's always a chance. But he isn't here in this mock draft. Spencer Brown has, for the most part, been a failed project. So you're looking probably upgrade that right tackle spot, and the Bills like freaks. DeJuan Jones is kind of a freak, so we're gonna go with him there. Okay, so we have the Cincinnati Bengals, and this pick should be offensive line. This pick really should, but I felt the need to get spicy. There, I said it. I felt the need to get spicy and quit projecting an offensive lineman with this pick. Because you know what? Hayden Hurst is a freaking free agent. So we're going to go ahead, take the first tight end off the board. And Dalton Kincaid. There, I did it. He's been tight end 2 for me since my summer evals. Hopefully you've been following the channel that long. You could go back. Go back in my video library. You can confirm. Tight end 2 for me for the last like 7, 8, 9 months has been Dalton Kincaid. With Michael Mayer, his numbers weren't bad. Like, you look at it, it was like, okay, I kind of expected that. Except for he did it instead of at 265, 249. That I didn't like. Kincaid, as long as he tests well at Utah's Pro Day, I think there's a good chance they look at that receiving upside, because I do think he is the best receiving tight end in this class, and they might go for it. So I'm going to go with Kincaid here. But this pick's easy. I'm going Myles Murphy. Like, I don't know if he's going to fall this far, but I think his testing is going to be important, because the year wasn't all that kind to him. But, like, his 2021 tape, banger, 2022 tape, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. So it's going to be important to see how he tests. And just know you're getting a guy that's a bit unpolished, but I think the Saints would love a dude like this. If he tests out extremely well, then they're going to be like, all right, bye, Marcus Davenport. We got another freak here. Okay. Philadelphia Eagles. This is another tough one. Like, really looking at it, I think Elijah Cansey just kind of makes sense. You have 2 first-round picks. You're going to feel really good about Joey Porter. So why not roll the dice on the quicks, the explosiveness of Elijah Cansey? I know, sub 31-inch arms. It's not great. This is your second first-round pick. Why not roll the dice on that, Cansey? A lot of production to his name. All right, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're going to let Orlando Brown go to free agency. Austin Wiley, I believe, is a free agent as well. So it's kind of important to get tackle. Anton Harrison looked phenomenal at the combine. I think he could develop really well, especially in this for this offense. So I've been a big fan of Anton Harrison again since the summer, and he came out, tested well, and I was like, good, and he didn't have sub 33-inch arms. It ended up being a typo, 34-inch arms, I believe. All right. So all of this, I have yet to do the second round. We're going to try to run through this, but also make sense of it. So for all intents and purposes, this is truly me taking guys I like for the squad and not necessarily projecting everything. But I'm telling you, Darnell Wright, I feel like Darnell Wright or DeJuan Jones, if one of them's here at 32, the freaking Steelers are going to swoop him up. All right, so we grabbed Lucas Van Ness, CJ Stroud. Now what we're looking at, linebacker. I just saw Drew Sanders' name, but he didn't test out this week. Listen, I just did the listen crap again. All right, follow me on this. Linebacker is going to be very fluent. Everyone's going to have their rankings all kinds of different. Freaking Jack Campbell looks like the most sure thing in this linebacker class. And you know what? Let's take a quick look. I want to compare his testing scores to a guy like Fred Warner's combine. All right, we got Fred Warner's combine up here for y'all. Okay, it was up here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, this video is screwing me up. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna scroll down a bit more. There we go. Okay, now let's take a gander here at the combine stats for Lucas Van Ness for Jack Campbell. All right, so they had similar 40s. It was just off by like a fraction of a second. 4.65 Campbell, Warner 4.64. Definitely Warner's the more explosive one. They both had similar verts. They both had very similar broads. Oh, actually, Campbell had the better broad. And oh my gosh, like the testing for the shuttle is almost the same. And then Campbell had the much better 6-cone. I think Campbell's gonna end up being my linebacker 1. I did not expect him to be that good in the other workouts. Like I saw 4.65 and I was like, oh, that's good for him. That's really good. Didn't expect his vert, his broad to be as explosive as they were. So I think that makes sense here. Cardinals, we grabbed edge rusher. Probably want to now dip into this corner class. Keely Ringo kind of feels like it, right? Tyreek Stevenson's a thought. Yeah, I think it's Keely Ringo. So we're going to go ahead, just continue to get more talent for this defense. I think Ringo's actually a good fit for Gannon's defense. All right, we have the Colts. Now, listen, if I'm going to rebuild, what am I doing here? Not going linebacker. Corner definitely is a thought. Oh man, I don't want to touch safety. I feel like they feel good about their safeties. They got a good young crew. I could go edge, especially for a team for Gus Bradley being known as a guy that doesn't blitz all that much. Oh, this is actually really good. So BJ Ojulari, probably my comp for him. There might be a good chance it's Yannick Ngakoue. And you know who loved playing under Gus Bradley the past couple of seasons? Yannick Ngakoue. So we're going to grab him for the Colts. So this is the problem with the tackle class. Really, Matthew Bergeron's the only guy I want to touch in the second round at this point. But I'm asking myself, is this too early for Bergeron? So you look at edge. There's a ton of good edge talent. Like Will McDonald would make sense here. All their safeties are free agents, and then Jalen Ramsey could also get traded. So we could talk about Forbes, Phillips, Stevenson, Turner. Though Antonio Johnson, I think, makes a world of sense here, though. I really do. Because all their safeties are free agents. Johnson's a good fit for that defense. We're going to go with him here. All right, so we grabbed the Georgia defense, Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, for the Seattle Seahawks. I kind of already knew what I was going to go here, and it was going to be some form of either John Michael Schmitz or Steve Avila, and Avila has now moved into my number 2 interior prospect, so we're going to snag him here. He can play both guard and center. I think he ends up playing center for this squad. This is a team that really wants to run the football, and Kenneth Walker would love some more interior talent there. All right, we got the Raiders. All right, right now looking at my board, I know Michael Mayer's fallen, but they got Waller. We're not taking Mayer here. Hyatt, though, is an interesting thought to pair him up with Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow. We could look at the defense, like Mozzie Smith's a consideration. Corner, they have a big need of corner. They really have Hobbs, and that's it. Stevenson actually probably be a good fit for Patrick Graham's defense. Yeah, and I got him higher on my board than I do Hyatt, so we're going to go with that. All right, we have the Panthers. So they better draft well, because they do not have, now, as of this trade, they do not have first-round picks in 2024 or 2025. So I guess you want to get another edge rusher, right? This is a very good edge class, so try to go in on it. We're looking at Keon Wyatt. I would not mind grabbing Will McDonald and having just the most explosive edge duo in football. Foskey's got a really solid ceiling. But Felix Anudike Uzama, bit of a bull in a China shop, man, though. But he's kind of like, if I'm sure people are gonna be like, oh, Keon White or Will McDonald, they're gonna be stuck between those two guys, and you kind of look for the in between here is Felix Anudike Uzama. Like I think he's got a really good first step. He's pretty explosive, knows how to bull rush, very strong. So like, again, he's kind of this nice little mixture of Will McDonald and Keon White, just not nearly as explosive and not nearly as powerful, but he's not far off. And he is definitely a guy that's not really talked about as much in this class just because the edge group is just so good. All right, the Saints. This one was also one I kind of assumed where I was going because I think Alvin Kamara, there might be a chance he's not with the Saints at the beginning of the season. Or maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe they try to trade him away. They were talking about trading him prior to the trade deadline last year. But we're going to go ahead and snag Jahmyr Gibbs. Go ahead, grab our new heir apparent to Alvin Kamara because obviously the legal troubles and whatnot. Tennessee Titans, this one feels a bit easy. As cool as I think it would be to get a guy like Mayer or Darnell Washington, they need separators at the receiver position. Jalen Hyatt is that. He got speed. I know it ain't sub 4.4, but still, let's not act like 4.4 ain't that fast. So we're going to grab Hyatt here. Cleveland, this one feels easy. I want to get a space eater. Mozzie Smith. I was a little sad that he ended up not testing out. I think he tweaked something or whatnot, but he did the bench, had the strongest bench of anyone there. He's probably going to blow up Michigan's pro day, so we're going to get that big boy space eater, Mozzie Smith, for the Cleveland Browns. All right, we're here. This is a tough pick because this is the pick I anticipate if Aaron Rodgers traded the Jets. This is the pick I expect to be gone. So it would work out nice for the Packers, you know. They could go ahead, grab a tight end, right, if they had this pick. To be fair, I mean, there's a good chance Mayer and Washington will both be on the board by the time this pick is up. So I don't see Atlanta going with another tight end. And the Jets here, like, it would be funny. It would be cool. I don't think CJ Uzama or Tyler Conklin are stopping me from trying to get a tight end. But, like, there's probably other parts of this class we could go in. I would have loved if Antonio Johnson was still on the board. Kind of is what it is. I do love Sidney Brown, though. Maybe going with the linebacker position, grabbing Saleh, his Fred Warner. I guess so. In that case, it'd be Trenton Simpson. I don't know. Him and Dion Henley are really close for me. But I'm going to go with Simpson, the younger guy, the guy that tested out more athletic. He's got a bit more size than Henley, but Henley also, keep in mind, was a receiver just 3 years ago. So, all right, we did that. Now what are we doing? All right. Corner, I don't like Turner's a thought here. No lie, DJ Turner's a thought. Basically played in a very heavy man scheme there in Michigan. We could go receiver. Josh Downs is on the board. Dude's twitched up. Tested at 4.48, I believe. I know the size kind of sucks, but you losing slots, you kind of would they're outside Drake London and Kyle Pitts. What are they working with as receivers? Could also go Matthew Bergeron, because even if they bring back McGarry, you could have Bergeron start at guard. I think I'm going to go with the receiver. I'm going to go with Downs, just because he's higher than those other two guys I named here. All right, Green Bay Packers, we're going tight end. This is Michael Mayer. So imagine this, because, okay, Robert Tonyan, free agent. Mercedes Lewis, did he retire yet? I don't know. Regardless, though, you fill a position that is kind of a need, and Mayer is stupid good. People want to rag on Mayer. Listen, man, his tape is great. His tape is great. Like, he is just exceptionally solid. He may not have, really one stand out, trait, but he's a guy that comes in and gets the job done. All right, the New England Patriots. You kind of have to take tackle, right? Because Bergeron, the drop-off's just too much. Because in round 2, you're looking at Jalen Duncan, Blake Freeland, Wanya Morris. I think those would be the only 2 guys I consider in the 3rd. So, yeah, the drop-off's just too much. All right, Minnesota Vikings. I talked about potentially getting Osiris Torrance. So, yeah, it would. The next place I wanted to look was definitely center. I forgot John Michael Schmitz was still on the board here. And I think that's the pick. Because Chase Royer? I don't know. I always mess up the pronunciation of his name. He's been banged up the last 2 years. People talk about him as a potential cap casualty. I don't think he's been let go yet, as far as I know. But like, you could start John Michael Schmitz at guard. Very confident he could play guard in the NFL and maybe be a replacement for Chase there. All right, the Detroit Lions. This is tough. Let's just look at best players on the board right now. Linebacker, we got Drew Sanders. Do I want that, though? Or do I go Henley? It's one of these 2, right? It has to be. Excuse me. I know people want to look at guard, but like Mock, I mean, I guess maybe. What other places can we go? Like safety, not really right now. Wide receivers, like no, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown there in the slot. I think Dell will have to start early in the slot. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Receiver class ain't wild. Like, I think we're gonna see more receivers go on day from the 3rd round on. I think that's when the receivers just start flying off the board. But maybe the first 2 rounds, might not be the place to get it. By the way, if there are people out there wondering, why did you take an edge for the Lions? This guy's defensive interior. Calm down. Charbonnet. But they're probably going to bring back Jones. Oh, man. Y'all ain't going to like that if I do that. Am I going to do that? Man, this is a tough pick. But I kind of like it. I think I'm going to go with Darnell Washington. Because listen, you'd be like, oh, they don't really use their tight ends. Yes, but their tight ends are on the field. If basically your other tight end is just a 6th offensive lineman, you're going to love that. But with a guy like Washington, you can design some fun stuff for him. Like especially in the red zone, you just get a really good threat there. I'm sure Ben Johnson would love a guy like this. Man, I think I'm going to do it. Just imagine I took a 6th offensive lineman for y'all. All right, Steelers. I kind of got the guys I wanted. Got that corner in the 1st round. I think that's where you want to go. And then Darnell Wright. We could do, honestly, Toi Peloto. If he didn't come in at 266, he'd probably be in consideration here. Keanu Benton is a thought. Linebacker Devin Bush is free agent. So do they go with Henley or do they go with Sanders? Let's see. Man, this linebacker group is tough. Do they go with the more shirt tackler? I think both have good blitz and upside. I mean, Drew Sanders is so young too. I think we're gonna go with Drew. We're gonna go with Drew Sanders here. All right, so I kind of knew this from pick 19 that, okay, if I go Bijan, I need to address the offensive line. So we're going to go someone for that left guard position. I don't know if that's Cody Mock. I really think Whippler might be a center-only guy. Titman might be a center-only guy. Voorhees tore his ACL, which sucks. He's probably going to go like late 3rd, early day 3, but I don't think it's confirmed. I don't think he got MRI, but yo, this dude put up 38 on the bench press. with a potentially torn ACL. Freaking madman. I think Tippmann could play guard, but he is a bit tall. But so is Kyle Trask. I mean, Mock's gonna be, I think, a good run defender or run blocker. Excuse me. It's a lot of what the Bisons did. I think we're gonna go with Mock here. All right, we got my Miami Dolphins. This sucks because, again, I would love to get a tackle, and no tackles really on the board here for the Dolphins. Defensive interior. Keanu Benton honestly ain't that bad. Corner kind of feels like it has to be it, though, right? So who am I looking for, though, at corner then? There's Forbes. There's Turner. Fun fact, they're both undersized. We got guys like Eli Ricks, Garrett Williams, Julius Brents. I think those are kind of the next guys up. Let me actually just check my big board. Yeah, no, those guys that I just mentioned are kind of the next guys up. Man. All right, so what was their arm length? Like, freaking Forbes still has insane arm length. Oh. Man, their missed tackle rate was very similar. And it's not like Turner had a bad year. He just didn't have as many interceptions. Man, this is tough. Who would I rather for my Dolphins with Fangio in tow? Man, you know what? I'm going to go... do I go with Forbes? Man, this is tough, man. Forbes or Turner? Forbes or Turner? Oh... Like, he's going to be good for, like, matching concepts with Fangio. I think I'm going to go with Turner. That's a real close call. All right, we got the Seattle Seahawks. Make sure we could grab a corner. Receiver. Again, not feeling it. Nathaniel Dell's, like, my next guy. But then I look at it, it's like just a bunch of third rounders. Like Michael Wilson's a bit up there for me. Mingo, welcome to day 2, by the way. I think he's gonna get a day 2 grade for me. Just barely. I think just barely. I don't know. I haven't put together the big board yet, but I've adjusted all my rankings. Now I gotta see where they fall on a big board. Let's see. Oh, linebacker. Oh yeah, the drop-off's kind of significant after Henley. Because then the only guy I really like in the third round is what? Dorian Williams. Overshown. But I really do like Williams. I think I'm gonna go with Henley, man. I'm gonna go with Henley. Get that speed out there with Brooks. Once he comes back, obviously. Okay, we got the Chicago Bears. Again, receiver, Dell. I don't think Dell's exactly where I want to go with right now. Because it just feels like having another Darnell Mooney. I mean, we got offensive line help. Let's go ahead, start addressing the defense. Let's look interior. Benton's probably the first guy I'm thinking of. Ooh, Carl Brooks, too. Oh, it's probably Keon White. Big, powerful boy. Eberflus would love that. All right, we'll go with White. All right, we got the Chargers. Well, we know there ain't tackles on the board. Ain't real... Like, there's Siaki Ika, man, but I feel better about taking him on round 3. Like, his testing was pretty meh. Man, he's a big space here, and that might just be what he is. But his 2021 tape's so good, why? Kind of is what it is. What other areas am I thinking of? Well, no, we already know linebacker ain't going to be it. Oh, Manuel Forbes. That'd be good. Especially with like what? JC Jackson was a bit up and down. They got what's his name? I think Michael Davis still on the team. I don't know. I mean, I think it's good value regardless. Forbes here at 54 is really good. Oh no. Oh no, we got the Lions again. Oh man, and you know what? All right, I'm gonna tell you the first name to come to mind for this pick is Michael Wilson. Because linebacker's just off the board. Like I could go for Dorian Williams. I know I'm a big fan of him, but I could probably think I could get him in the third round. Do I go in on the running backs with Williams as a free agent? Go with Zach Charbonnet? Ooh, that's a thought. I think I'm going to go with Michael Wilson. I like Wilson. People are going to talk about, oh man, he's been injured the last 2 years. And I was like, but yeah, but his Senior Bowl, like the dude looked the freaking part. But wide receiver too. Stetson, I thought was solid for a receiver his size. I know you're going to point to Mingo. Like, oh, look at Mingo, man. But like, if you look at their production, like the last 2 years, Mingo, like Wilson, definitely if he was able to be healthy, he would probably outproduced Mingo this season. I think he's got more sure hands. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wilson here. I like that. All right, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kind of like fluctuate through. Gosh, there's still so many good edge rushers. There's Musgrave. I mean, they're gonna Evan Ingram's getting the franchise tag though. How do I feel about? Oh gosh, Sidney Brown would be dope. How much slot did Sidney Brown play? I don't think he played a lot. 177 snaps this past season because Jartavius Martin or Quan Martin was really their slot guy. All right, what else then do I go with? You know, Keanu Benton just might be a really good pick just in general. Here, I think that's just good value. All right, we got the New York Giants. Again, team that would love linebacker, but this ain't the draft for it. Oh, you know what? Luke Whippler would be a really good pickup here. I think I'm going to go with that. Get them a legit interior help. Yeah, I really expect Saquon back with the Giants. Even if they have to franchise Jones, I imagine Saquon and the Giants are going to get a deal done. The Dallas Cowboys, man. Again, the Dallas Cowboys so freaking hard to pick for. Could just have an insane pass rush with Will McDonald. Or you know what? You could take Luke Musgrave here. If you honestly don't think, because they're not bringing back Dalton Schultz, as far as I know. If they don't really believe guys like Jake Ferguson and Pender Hendershot are legit, then like, or at least more than a tight end 2. If they don't think those guys can be more than tight end 2, then yeah, why not take a swing on Musgrave? Okay, I'm down. I'm down to clown. All right, so Joe Tippmann was the first thing to come to mind here. Sidney Brown. This is just easy. Sidney Brown. Safety help would be very welcomed for the Buffalo Bills. Okay, we got Cincinnati Bengals. This is why let this be an illustration of why they should take a tackle or even an offensive line period in the first round, because you get here and it's like, geez. Like Tippmann's probably the only guy I would like here. I can like you're just reaching for the other tackles on the board at this point. Now I'm thinking maybe like Jordan Battle is a nice would be a nice box option. That's the first thing that came to mind. Let's see just best players on the board right now. Clark Phillips. Clark Phillips is actually a really good fit for this defense. Oh, man. Will McDonald's kind of balls to the wall. Like, I know Joseph Osai had, like, a solid last stretch of the season. They also got Hubbard. Okay, maybe not. Let's reel back. Golly, there's a lot of good edge players here. You know what's funny? Let me tell you what's funny. If they cut Joe Mixon. I'm going with Zach Charbonnet just because of that. What if they cut Joe Mixon? I don't imagine they will, but bam, we got his replacement right there in Zach Charbonnet. All you could want and more. Carolina Panthers. Again, this is kind of just a best case, like best scenario, best player off the board. They all happen to be edge players right now at this point. Could get a nice meat eater in Siaki Ika. Honestly, I don't mind him at this range at this point. See, I'm scrolling down here. I should be looking at my big board. Battle, Jamie Robinson are the next safeties, but I feel like those guys are more close to the line. There's a lot of good corners too. If I want to go in on like a Garrett Williams, Clark Phillips, Julius Brents, Eli Ricks. Again, Dorian Williams is like the next guy up at linebacker for me. Oh, Carl Brooks would kind of be sexy. All right, let's hold that thought. Oh man, we got Bryce Young. Bryce Young loved the speed of Jameson Williams. He really did. And John Mechie. Yo, send it. Let's do it. I'm actually gonna go with my boy Nathaniel Dell. Have him work out of the slot. I believe Terrace Marshall was working out of both outside and the slot. Because I remember Smith playing a lot of slot snaps for the Panthers. I just want to go confirm this because I am kind of just like speaking off of memory. Yeah, no, okay. Terrace Marshall, over 90% of his snaps were out wide. Perfect. It all works out. It all worked out. All right, so next we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Charbonnet would actually been kind of dope here. I suppose we could wait for a running back. But what does that mean we're really looking for? Do you go in on a Jordan Battle if you don't bring back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson? Maybe is that the move? I feel like they're gonna want to. Jamie Robinson honestly be kind of fun there too. Maybe go edge. Actually, there's a lot of good edge talent on the board. Yeah, Will McDonald might be like, oh, he's a bit undersized. Like this guy was playing like inside 4 tech for Iowa, man. Like, don't doubt this dude's ability. Don't doubt his strength. All right, so we got the Chiefs. They did okay. Isaiah Foskey's kind of like the pick here 9 times out of 10, right? That or Derek Hall. Both guys are very close on my board. Because if you look for they just released Frank Clark, it just kind of makes sense. All right, so I get to have this next pick for the Bears. Carl Brooks is a thought. I do love Carl Brooks. Tuli Peloto seems like he could be a guy that Eberflus would like, but I think I want to go take a shot on that receiver. And yo, listen, A.T. Perry had a really good Shrine Bowl. A.T. Perry had a darn good combine. The dude ran a 4.47 in the 40. I didn't expect that. I thought he was definitely going to be above 4.5. And then his broad jump was 133 inches. So let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Save this. How long is this video? It's too dang long. That's what it is. All right, let's go ahead, take a look at this mock draft. I'm, of course, going to adjust this a little bit, get rid of this ad. Just briefly scroll through it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like I said, that second round was kind of like done off the top of my head, so hopefully it was good. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll reply to the ones that I like, and if you're rude and disgusting, I'm going to troll the hell out of you. So until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.